Hey everyone, we're going to do a deep listen for Locked Club by Deftones off their album Private Music. Let's jump in. Cruise out in style. Well, it's safe. Come stepping out proud from the gates. Symbolize the truth. We exist. Inside of this tribe, we know our place locked in. I feel like he's talking about our political climate right now and the tribalism that exists within it. He opens up with, that first line. He's talking about how it feels safe, right? And come stepping out proud from the gates. We exist. There's a group, right? It's a we. It's not an I or you. It's a we. And that feeling of safety. So whoever's singing this, from whatever perspective they're singing it from, or Chino is singing it from, this is a person that feels like he or she belongs in a group. Inside of this tribe, we know our place, locked in, symbolize the truth, right? So without getting too biased here, we've got a political climate now where a lot of people, everyone's divided in both groups of people, feel like they've got, they have the truth, right? I love that synth sound in the background. You got the guitars and the drums doing this sort of the straightforward driving riff, and then the synth is just creating this texture in the background. It's kind of, it adds, it just adds something to it, So join our parade or be left out, right? So kind of connecting back to that first verse, I would consider this the chorus. That first verse, about, we belong in this group. We symbolize the truth. They're confident. And then it's this, in the chorus, this progression into the idea of exclusion. So you join our parade or be left out. So you can see that maybe there's some pressure, right, to conform to this group. It's either you're with us or you're not with us, right? Oh yeah, that imagery. Chino never fails with, he's just such a visual lyricist. I feel some religious undertones here. Not that Chino is religious, but I feel like he is seeing the religious aspect behind this political movement that he's referring to. Arise from the pools, curate your spot. I almost picture like someone rising from a baptism, right? They're coming out of the water while staring up at God from the water. That's pretty straightforward there. Closer to the truth. What's interesting about that line, he mentions locked in the first verse. So there's a feeling of everyone's on the same page here, right? But then feeling the crowd locked in. So this group of people, they're feeding off of something, right? They're feeding off of the crowd. This is what they believe the people want. So there's a feedback loop here. Abe Cunningham just bringing it home. The guy just, he's just so fluid with his drumming and his phrases. He so seamlessly blends these sort of hip hop influences with just, metal or rock, I don't like, classifying genres like this, but it just, you can't even tell, right? And that's what makes it awesome. It's like, it's so fluid. It's so seamless. This part here is just classic Deftones interlude. They know how to make a middle section. It's like the middle part of that song. It usually opens up like this, and it just gets really rhythmic. They just change it up and transform all the elements in the song, reinterpret things. Love it. He's saying you can feel it drain through your body. So it's like, I feel like it's that feedback loop from the crowd again. That energy that you feel. Of course, they're Deftones. They know this energy very well. But if when you're performing and you're in that kind of interaction with the crowd and it's going back and forth, there's an energy. And if you're in the crowd, you feel it just as much as if you're on stage. So if you've been to a concert, you also know what I mean. And it's more about, he's pointing out here that it's more about a performance, right? And it really shouldn't be. I think this is at least the way I interpret this. If you ask Chino, who knows what he'll say, right? But I feel like it's a criticism without being a criticism. He's acknowledging, he's identifying something here. He's identifying a dynamic that, from my perspective, it's sort of an unhealthy dynamic, right? Is politics, politics is, I guess you could argue that it's all about the crowds, but it shouldn't be a performance. It shouldn't, the performance of it shouldn't be front and center. Sure, performance is always an aspect of anything we do, really. But politics should be about policy and democracy and government and helping people and serving the people, right? Collapse in your room, preparing your strength. Like, I picture a politician who just went on a really tiresome run of maybe a tour of some sort, did a bunch of speeches, and is just completely drained now, right? Because if you do that kind of work, especially for something that's not really for a noble cause, I would say, you kind of, it really drains you, right? And so now he's preparing his strength to get back to it. The power you feel from the contact. So that rush, right? That rush you feel. Maybe he just gave a powerful speech and the crowd reacted in a really enthusiastic way or something like that, right? So he's high on that contact. So in love with the calm and the chaos. So maybe he's in that moment of calm right now, but he just came out of chaos of some sort, right? Closer to God, that religious aspect again. Cool drum fill. I love it when Chino It's like, can you feel it? And then that other vocal comes in. It's like a megaphone vocal, and it just like, it's like a different voice, a different side of Chino. And it responds to that first, can you feel it? Sick ending. So sick. That ending came out of nowhere. They just, I love it when they do that. They often do that with their songs, is they'll throw this ending in there that's just, obviously it's connected to all the concepts in the song, but it's just a complete transformation of them, and it summarizes everything almost like we're going to end on something that you haven't heard yet in this song, and that's going to be like the dot at the end of the sentence right there. Really cool song, a lot of meaning behind that one.